know that it is, for me, when I started teaching it, the biggest thing was remembering, A, I had to remember what the phonograms, the sounds were without having the phonograms in front of me. And then B, just remembering the rules and why they were there. That was hard, but then, I mean, you also can keep that wise guide book in front of you to kind of help you remember that. All right, let's do one more word. We'll do, under the word whole, we're going to write the word thick. He likes a thick rug. Thick. Clap it out. One syllable. Think to spell. Ick. Okay, so this is showing that we have a multi-letter phonogram first, then a single letter phonogram, and then another multi-letter phonogram. And then I would tell them to write the word thick on their paper. Okay. For the markings for the word thick, an important thing that I would tell the kids, and this is a little easier because there's a letter between them, but you have two separate markings because you have two separate multi-letter phonograms. So they would have to underline the T and the H, and then underline the C and the K. For the word she, they have, what'll happen sometimes is they need to underline the S and the H, and then they need to underline the E because it's saying its name at the end of a syllable. So it needs to look like this, whereas they are sometimes just going to want to underline the whole thing. And so it's important, that space in there is important just so that they're visually seeing the two different things. Okay, I think that I am probably finished, unless y'all have any other questions. Yes.
So, for example, thick, that's got to be a little bit farther out for now.
Yes, I went all the way. Yes.
You're going to have to, I mean, it's a lot of work for you. You're going to have to make sure we already know the phonogram to especially and the rule that goes with this, because we use after a vowel that says I. So that's a lot to think about for you, but you can expect to give us words that already have a phonogram you know.
Correct.
And the rule that goes with the word.
Yes, and that'll be the hardest part for me. Will be making sure we do the rules earlier than what they are in the books. But yes, the good thing about the book is it'll tell me what phonograms we should be learning. We are doing review this week, and I think we're even doing review next week. But after Thanksgiving, we'll start learning those multi-letter phonograms. But yes, so they should know those. The spelling rules, it may get a little, they may not know those as well once you're getting into those. But I have really found that having the cards and really kind of talking about them while you dictate is helpful for them to really make those connections. I mean, they need to memorize it because that's how that's one of the ways that they learn best right now. But it's also good to make the connection there while you're writing the words. Yes?
I have two questions. Maybe I missed this at the beginning. Are they going to do their spelling test on Monday then? So they'll do the words and then they'll have a test on Monday?
No, they will do their spelling test on the following Wednesday. Because it takes us the whole class period to dictate the spelling list on Monday. So we do the spelling test on Wednesday. So what will happen, so this week, like you're learning these words, then next Tuesday, you're going to dictate the new words, but you're also going to want to review these words. But you should have worked with them for a week, so it should be more of a review, and then you're teaching the new words. But that also helps us with making sure that it's not just memorizing the words that they're testing on, because we have added in a day of new words. It makes them rely a little bit more on those phonogram sounds as well.
Okay. Then the other question is, if we are dictating these to them, do we do these markings every time, or is there ever a time where we don't do the markings, like for the test?
For the test, they don't have to do the markings for a test. The only time you need to do the markings is when you are writing in that spelling log. So on Tuesdays when you're dictating. Tomorrow at home when you're working on, we gave you like a little packet kid that has some different activities. When you're doing that, you don't have to do any markings with that. It's only when you're dictating into that book.
So a weekly schedule would be Tuesday we dictate them, but y'all have dictated them on Monday. And then Thursday and Friday they do the little games.
Correct.
To learn.
Yes. And then that following week, so they kind of have a week and a half with the spelling words. So that following Tuesday you'd review them just to.
And then do we turn these things in? Like if they write the little words out?
Yes, there's a due date should be on Greenweb. But yes, you'll turn them in so the next Monday. So next Monday, I'll ask you, you should turn in all the activities that you did with this spelling list for this week. And we'll go ahead and not do those, we'll go ahead and turn those in every week. So that way, if for some reason we have some parent that's not getting them done, we can catch it earlier than just at first month check, since it is so important for them. Do you have any other questions? Yes.
Sorry. Is there an expectation of, like, if a kid already knows how to spell the words, do you still expect that we're doing all these activities and games and stuff with them? Or is it more to look at how to spell and move on?
No, like we're still expecting for you to be dictating with them and doing.
Right, but the game, she's talking about the games, I think, that you sent out.
The different activities?
Right.
Yes.
So can you explain to the kids?
It's not a matter of doing all this. I understand that.
No, I'm sorry.
I used to do one or two.
You know what? I am so sorry because it got sent home and I realize now. Let me back up a little bit. The original plan was for you to work on that packet yesterday and Thursday, but then I needed to add in the dictation, so I pushed the packet back. So I'm sorry. In tomorrow's lesson plans, you'll see it'll say you are doing 20 points worth of activities. So there was a 5-point page, a 10-point page, and a 15-point page. Your student can decide. You know, if you've got a really artistic student, let them pick the artsy things. If you have a more like, no, let's get this done, or whatever kind of appeals to them, and it just needs to be 20 points worth. So if you do one 15-point activity, then bust out a 5-point activity and you're done. Or you can do 4 5-point activities. So I am so sorry. As you were asking that, I realized that y'all probably haven't read tomorrow's lesson plan. And then you're going to turn it in the following Monday. I am so sorry about that. There was that confusion. No, I don't want you to do the whole packet every week.
I'm not going to, don't worry.
Okay. So, yes.
I was going to just mention that for those of you that are first time, because I know there's several first time, it's really good to laminate all these cards. I don't know if y'all have done that, but I laminated them and put them on a ring, and so they've lasted, we're going on the 6th year, and they're great. They would look brand new.
Yes, and I would say these are not laminated, but most of our teacher copies are laminated and on a ring. Do y'all have any other questions for me? Yes.
So the test, Monday dictation at school, Tuesday dictation at home, Wednesday, whatever, Thursday, Friday activities, and then Monday turn them in, and then test on Monday? Or
No, test is on the next Wednesday. So
what do
we
do Tuesday?
We get a new list on the next Tuesday, so we review their old list and do their new list dictation.
correct.
Because they have a test on their old list on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay.
So on Monday, you're receiving their work, the data at home, and then you're giving them a new list.
Correct. Yes. So like today we did a phonogram quiz because we weren't ready to do a spelling test. Next Wednesday we will do a spelling test over what they learned Monday and Tuesday. Any other questions for you?
The spelling dictation we did yesterday, I didn't mark those. Were we supposed to mark them yesterday too, or should we go back and do it?
There weren't any markings for those words. So yes, I think there might be some in list A, but I don't think there are very many. Okay. Another thing is, so to ease into spelling, we're doing 5 words a week. Once we finish list A, we'll go to 10 words a week, and that'll be the norm. We won't ever go to 20 words a week in first grade. In kindergarten. They will do that in first grade.
Is it going to always be the case in their little journal that they write it the first day and then we have them write it on the next day, so they'll have each list written twice?
Yes, it is. I went through the other day and made sure that there are enough papers for that. So, yes, and just so you know, in case you end up with another, if you have a younger child, you will be asked every other year to buy a primary learning log. It just wasn't on the list this year, and I didn't catch it till after the school year started, and we had these notebooks, so that's what we're using this. Yes.
So what will the test look like that you get? Because I'm sure lesson looking at it.
Yes, it will, it'll be on this piece of paper, because these are the lovely copies that I made. We'll write spelling quiz on the top. I will number the papers. So it'll be, there are 10 lines, but we'll probably do like 1 through 5, and then 6 through 10 on the other side. And then I'll say word number 1 is cat. Now for kindergarten, especially at the beginning, I'll do act, cat, okay? As we ease into it, sometimes second semester, I'll probably just finger spell without the sounds added to them. And then once they get in first grade, my first graders can handle just cat. The cat is on the roof, cat. So you can help them prepare by looking at me. We did a phonogram quiz today, and we actually, I think I have it in the list to do next week as well. That's to also help them. The phonogram quiz paper looks just like this. Obviously it's a little different, but we're using those to help them get used to taking the spelling test as well.
So if we think they can handle us not saying each letter individually, should we do that to ease them into it, or do you suggest doing it the
No,
same
for
way?
now, yes, doing all of the thinking spell. Even if they get it, still do the think to spell, just to make sure.
Okay.
And just to reinforce that.
4th and 5th grade kids still use a lot of these things. When they get into some of those difficult words, you can see them going, how many syllables, and then they're, I think they're deaf.
Yes, and if y'all need to go, we are pretty much finished unless you have questions. So if you need to go, you're more than welcome to head out. They don't normally write their names at the top of the page.
That's how they usually
Do you have any other questions? Yes.
Sean thinks you're graded on a grade scale like E or...
It'll be each year. We will just write up there how many they missed.
Okay.
That's what Scarlett prefers to do. And then we'll kind of, once it comes report card time, we'll average out. I know in first grade, the standard is that they know 80% of the words on a spelling test. So there's some leeway for them to miss some. And then you kind of look at it, and if I had a child that missed 5, which is less than 80% on one list, but pretty much every other list they only missed 2, then you give them, you give them a cheat for it. You don't take that one syllable and go, oh, because you missed 5 on that one, now you get an N for something. They have off days.
The grades will be on living or just something that we...
They won't. We don't upload the grades in kindergarten.